Hey guys, it's me, it's Cecilia. I'm doing my very first video blog, a true video blog. It's just me and the computer, you, me, and my computer in my office. You can see my office. This is my office. Well, you can't really see it, but you can see the little pretty picture behind me. Um, yeah, so I wanted to talk today about resistance. And the walls that exist, both inside and outside of us. And, resistance is something that I think about a lot. I think about it a lot in my own life. Um, I think about it when it comes to doing things that frighten me or push my buttons a little bit. I definitely think about it in connection to clutter. With clutter, there's always resistance, or else it wouldn't be there. There, whether it's the clutter in your home or the clutter in your head, the things that you think about but don't do, there's resistance there. But one type of resistance that I find really interesting is the one that comes up when we're really pushing and stretching and reaching and going for the things that we really want in our lives. And I don't know about you, um, but I've talked about this with clients, and I've definitely experienced myself that sometimes when I'm really putting myself out there in the world and I'm really doing it, there's this moment of I've hit a wall. And the wall feels very familiar. And I remember talking to a client about this. She was really stretching and growing and creating opportunities and just doing amazing things in her life. And at the same time, in her home, clutter had started to build up a little bit. And there was this feeling that the clutter was the true story. That's what's real. This is the story that's real, not all the stuff that I'm doing out in the world. This is who I am. And that it felt like she had hit up against this wall, and this very familiar wall. And the way that I saw it was more that, she's sort of putting herself out there in the world, stretching, and then this elastic sort of pulled her back, and that was the feeling of hitting that wall. So it's more like, when you put yourself out there, sometimes you run into yourself. Not your true self. You run into the parts of yourself that have really great stories. Stories like, relationships aren't for me. I could never run my own business. Who am I to ask for what I want? And so what happens sometimes when we're really putting ourselves out there in the world is that story, that wall inside, pulls us back. And we have the sense of hitting it. And I really see it as this like elastic, right? Like the elastic is stretching, and then it gets to a point where it can't stretch anymore and it pulls you back. So I guess the idea is just to keep on pulling and stretching. And one day, what do you think will happen? The elastic breaks. I don't know. What kind of sound does an elastic make when it breaks? The elastic breaks, and then there you are, in a loving relationship, in a job you actually enjoy, in a life where you feel like yourself. So that's what I've been thinking about. I hope you can relate, and just remember that when you feel that hit of the wall inside, it might be a cue that you're on the right track. maybe the wall is there to let us know that we're moving in the right direction, or else that story wouldn't come up.